What's up, everybody? Just a little reminder of what we got going on this week. I already put the assignment on ThinkWave, but we are making a large self-portrait. So behind me, you can see all of these different face things that we've been working on, the Loomis head, and where the facial features go, all that kind of thing. I will go more over that tomorrow in a video. So that's one thing we were working on today. For those of you who need a reminder, just be able to draw this stuff here and know where the stuff is put. And on this one, you can kind of tell eyes, nose, and mouth levels. This is the same head, just kind of mapped out. And this is just the outside of the hair, but if you notice, he's bald. Except the back of his head has hair, and that's not how we draw hair. But anyway, we'll get more into that later. So here's the thing, I'm gonna flip you around. We've been looking at this book, and remember I was saying stuff mainly about skulls today. Where is that page? Well, we'll start off with this guy. So the drawing doesn't go from like nothing to this or nothing to that. You know, there's steps involved, and it looks like geometry and like mathematical equations. And that's probably because it is kind of a mix of geometry and face, like facial anatomy and expressions, and being able to do the art side of it too. But a lot of that comes down with portraiture really in like, do you know how to think that an eyeball actually is a sphere and it's sitting inside of a socket, and the nose is sort of like this shape. See? It's just rounded and not so hard edged. Our faces generally are kind of padded with muscles and skin and all that kind of stuff. We don't have like real sharp blocky shapes for our facial features. So this is the one that I really want you to look at. Is this started as this sketch? It looks really weird, huh? Well, it's not nearly finished. That's just the preliminary sketch. Then start mapping out kind of where everything else is going. Where are the eyes? Where's the nose? Where's the mouth? See, the nose looks really blocky there. But then he makes it look even freakier and almost more freaky. But it's just all the lines. You wouldn't see all these lines in between the teeth, or like all the wrinkles of the face and all this weird stuff around the eyes. Although all these lines, all these details have a purpose. But when we start laying in some color, you see the details here. But from back here, it's starting to take shape, because now we're focused mainly on these big things of color, not on these little skinny black lines. Now our eyes can relax and kind of look at these colors a little bit. As it goes, they just keep on putting more washes of color in certain little areas, mainly where the shadows are. They're just making the shadows a little bit darker each time, maybe a little richer in color, like a different color. They're not just putting black to make it dark. This one, oftentimes it's this color, and here it's like a dark brown that they're using for their shadows. And in her face, the only black areas are really the eyes, maybe deep into the eyebrow there, and then the corners of the mouth. But you notice that now with all of that darkness filled in, her teeth don't look as freaky as that one. But anyway, okay, so you see a little bit about that and how to draw. Now that's watercolor painting. We've gone over another one here. Let me look. So if you're doing pencil, see, this is a photograph. This isn't a drawing, photograph. So they did this drawing to start, got a good clean outline, sort of like a contour line or puzzle pieces. They start shading it in, and then they blend all that out. They don't leave this white. That's not realistic. Just a slight gray, and you get like a very realistic illusion of a girl. Here's the same thing, like this doesn't look bad, but this just looks so weird, and it's really the teeth and the eyes, like everything's just so like clean and weird, and everything's outlined. But as you shade, everything starts to soften until you have this. So you need to make sure that when you're drawing or you're painting, that don't throw away the painting too quickly. Don't throw away the drawing too quickly. Sometimes it only looks good in the last like third or fourth of the last little bit, not even the last half. Sometimes you've drawn for, it seems like forever, and it just starts looking good near the end. You can look up portraits by Van Gogh. You can look up portraits from any of the Impressionists, really, and see that they were really experimental with their portraits, and like how they set them up, how did they draw with the paint, what colors did they use, some interesting colors with the Impressionists. But remember, this painting needs to be 18 by 24, can be whatever medium you want that I put into ThinkWave, so go check that. And I am giving an extra week. Merry Christmas. I'm giving you an extra week, so instead of being due on the 15th, go ahead and let's say that I need for you to have it completely sketched out, like I need those line drawings, like what I just showed you. Hold on a second. Like, say this is your progression. This isn't what I just showed you, but let's say this is what I'm expecting you to have done by next week. I need for you to have your whole 18 by 24 sheet of your nice paper. I need to have these kinds of guidelines. Then we can start working on shading and getting it done. Same thing with painting. If you have it lightly sketched in where you're going to paint what and all that kind of thing. Let me find one more example just to be clear. I'm going to try to find the one that I was just at. It doesn't look like I'm finding it, but you know what I mean. Okay, here we go. So this is the photograph. So you're working from a photograph of yourself, and this is what I'm expecting by next week. Really want this. It'd be way better if you had started this right here, but I'm not expecting it to be finished next week. Okay, you have till the week after. So we're having our Christmas party on the 15th, a week from today. You do not have to have it due by then. You can have it, if you have it by the next week. Of course, we won't be meeting, but you'll need to send me a picture of you or somebody holding it so that I can tell that it's 18 by 24. All right, it needs to be 18 by 24. That's mainly for the older class. The younger class is doing a different size, I believe. So don't worry if you're in the younger class and you're like 18 by 24. That's not what we did. This week, I haven't had my younger class yet, but we are actually, I will by the time you're watching this. But we're just gonna make frames for the artwork today, and that's what we're gonna do. So I think that's it. If you've got your digital stickers ready for me, you can send those to DGA, sort of like Dustin Goolsby art class, all one word, ARTCLASS @gmail.com. DGA.artclass@gmail.com. Email me your digital form of your stickers. I might pop in tomorrow to talk a little bit more about portraits, to help you guys with like how to trace this stuff. But right now you're just focusing on getting a 5x7 drawing that looks really good, that you can blow up and make bigger maybe even like on a scratch sheet of paper, or on like a big sheet of, like, I got this big thin paper here. This is just thin sketch paper. So I advise the class to maybe project onto that, work on that, and then maybe work on a larger sheet of paper that I gave you guys, this big watercolor paper. Put your final on that. So you might have to transfer it. You may find a really bright window that you can trace it. You can do a transfer method where you print out yourself like as big as you can on copy paper, and then transfer that over by like coloring the back of the paper and tracing around the details, and it'll put that. I'll work on some of that stuff tomorrow with you. I think that is it. If I missed anything, comment on the video and I will address it tomorrow. All right, see you guys. Peace.